Other news I got for you, since y'all were just talking about Elden Ring stuff, I got some Elden Ring stuff as well as like Elden Ring adjacent news. First things first, this article caught my eye on the timeline. I don't know what it's about, but the headline said the waterfowl dance is nothing compared to ER. What the fuck that's supposed to mean? Marika extracting surplus value from you. Is their attack more powerful than the waterfowl dance from Millennia? When did you go to Europe? That was like a year ago. I went to Malta. It's like off the coast of Italy. Just in case we don't care about the DLC. Oh, this is about a mod. Okay, so you haven't gotten very long left to get all the preparation you want to get out of the way with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Dropping June 21st. Don't worry though, if you think you need an extra challenge to sharpen your skills before heading into the Land of Shadow, here's a mod that can help. Just in case you didn't know, there are actually some steps you'll need to have to take in to be able to access the yeah, we know. The mod is simply called Capitalism mod, and it's the work of a modder, the fifth Matt, who's been responsible for a lot of fun Elden Ring randomizers you've seen streamers playing around over the past year or so. After all, what could make From Software's work more fun than not knowing which enemies or items you might encounter as you scythe through locations for the third and fourth or 100th time? While it's essentially doing a similar job, having been created for purposely a tough challenge run by Elden Ring maestro Lil Aggie, the Capitalism mod makes things difficult not by swapping out foes for harder ones, but by penalizing you for literally everything you do as you try to play the game. Yep, it takes runes from you when you move, consume stamina, take damage, deal damage, or exist. And if you reach 0 runes, you get stuck or die. This does not sound fun. How does that mirror capitalism, you ask? Well, the fifth Matt explains souls are already a highly applicable metaphor for primitive and capital accumulation, but it also because it incentivizes actions which maximize hoarding and capital accumulation for its own sake at the expense of otherwise reasonable behavior. Can you stream this mod? I'd imagine, yeah. The mod mechanics also bear some resemblance to real-world attempts to apply these incentives with microtransactions and in-game currencies they add. There are admittedly no relations of productions in the mod, but if you really want, you can imagine Marika extracting surplus value from you. So that's the thing. If you're looking for guys to get ready, like, let me see this shit, right? Who the fuck is playing this?
I've brought capitalism to the lands between by modding my game to charge me runes for every single action I do. So now, every single time I take so much as a step, I have to pay 1 rune. And every single time I spend stamina to do things like
how do you level up?
Attack or sprint, I also have to pay 1 rune per stamina point consumed. Additionally, just for good measure, every time I get hit, I'll also be charged 1 rune per HP loss.
What up, Serena?
And every time I want to open a fog gate, I'll also have to pay an entrance fee of 25% of the runes the boss on the other side.
You have to pay to fight the boss. All the way to fuck no.
Now, if you know anything about how many runes you can
Good. Am I seeing you in 2 weeks?
Actually don't.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Also implemented an incredibly problematic inflation rate based on the total amount of runes I've earned throughout the run.
That's good. I'll know somebody there.
The more I make,
I was worried about that.
I gotta pay. Now let's go see how our hero
I'm gonna show up when you get there.
Himself up by those bootstraps to overcome this challenging new market. Oh, and before I forget, this video is sponsored by War Thunder.
Interesting. Anybody want to use this? I'm not using this shit. Does anybody want this mod? Here's the link. This is just for true masochist gamers. Yeah, like this is some masochist shit. This doesn't sound fun at all. Like, and then if you do beat the game, what do you gain out of this, bro? What do you get? I don't feel like I would get any type of satisfaction for this. Like the part of the appeal of an RPG is recognizing at the end of the game where you started to where you are at now, just watching how cool your character becomes over time. You become you start as a degenerate, and by the end you have a cool piece of armor, a really good weapon, a mimic tier if you're a cheater. Co-op too, but you get the point. Like that, I feel like that's the appeal. That's the appeal of like an RPG. Like to strip that out of the RPG, at that point you're not even role playing. Yeah, it's just pure ego. Like I'm good off of that. I'm good the fuck off of that. You said I'm a cheater then? As long as you know. As long as you know, man. As long as you know. I'm sure it makes for good content though. Can you edit the settings and the costs? I didn't see anything about that in the article. I would look into the mod I would look into the mod and see. It's probably on Nexus mod or something. Other Elden Ring stuff, Shadow the Erdtree. We got some screenshots. I mean, we got some gameplay already, but we got some more screenshots I've seen on the timeline. They really hyping this shit up. The fire's looking nice. This one, that one caught my eye right there because they got big ass Court of the Owl ass birds with fucking golden talons and shit like that. Not gonna lie, all of them getting jumped, how they be moving like shit. All right, bro. And then this one looks really pretty too. Fire. We got a knight like giant or whatever. Can't wait to get that feeling I got when I first played Elden Ring. Right. The unknown. Ain't no cheating the first week. Other Elden Ring adjacent news. The director of Elden Ring, Miyazaki, is talking about a Bloodborne PC port. Miyazaki knows for a fact other From Software devs want to make a Bloodborne PC port. If I say I want one, it'll get done, but it's nothing I'm opposed to. Like, what the fuck, bruh? Just fucking make, yo, I've never played Bloodborne, but I see this shit on Twitter all the time and on YouTube. Everybody wants a Bloodborne PC port. Nobody wants to play this shit at 15 frames per second. That's the reason I've never touched this game. And I will play this game when it comes to PC. Until then, I'm not touching that damn PlayStation version. That shit is ass. But my thing is, like, if you know the people want it and you know the developers on your team want to make it, it's really just coming down to Miyazaki. He's just fucking edging y'all, bro. He's edging the community, man. As I was wrapping up an interview with From Software's president, Miyazaki, for PC Gamer Shadow the Erdtree cover story, I knew I couldn't walk out the conference room we'd been sitting in for more than an hour without asking the question. You know, the one that's been in front of the PC gamers' minds during every single major live stream and gaming event since Sony. I don't even think this is on just PC gamers' minds. This is on gamers' mind, period. I think PlayStation people want to play it on PC too. I was obviously not the first person to ask Miyazaki about returning to Bloodborne or making a sequel. Just a few months ago, he told IGN that From Software doesn't own the IP rights. Unfortunately, and I've said this in other interviews, it's not my place to talk about Bloodborne specifically, he answered. Who owns the IP? I tried a slightly different approach, making myself the satirical lamb. I said I'd get in trouble if I didn't ask this question, then let off by acknowledging that I know From Software doesn't own Bloodborne, but there are millions of PC gamers out there that are still holding on to hope, I said. Would he, Miyazaki, personally like to see a Bloodborne port come to PC? I want to actually ask that question. Let's see. Who owns the Bloodborne IP? I see some. Yeah, some of y'all saying Sony. Some of y'all saying it's not Sony. But according to Grok, Sony is the proud owner of the Blood, so Sony does own it. See, this is why I don't trust the chat. Some of y'all said Sony, some of y'all said Sony doesn't. According to Grok, Sony does. And this information is based off like scouring Twitter, so this is probably accurate. Shout out to AI. What the fuck is Sony's problem? They don't like money? Where we're going at. I know for a fact these guys want to make a PC port, Miyazaki said, referring to From Software producer, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry, dude, and interpreter Bobby Simpson seated at the conference table near him. If I say I want one, I'll get in trouble as well, but it's nothing I'm opposed to. Damn, they silencing my nigga, bro. Maximilian is a heavy Bloodborne player, and he says all the time it needs a PC port. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Like, that every time I ever seen somebody play Bloodborne, that PS4 version, I be joking, it doesn't run at 15 frames, but it definitely runs sub 30. It runs like 24 frames. It's pretty bad. It's very stuttery. And to me, I'm not playing a Souls game that's stuttery. It's a game that requires precision. I'm going to be stressed the fuck out. I don't need the game to be any harder because it doesn't run well. So I'm not playing it. No, thank you. But the game must be fucking amazing because y'all still seem to love it despite the fact that it runs like ass. TBH, have you played Demon Souls? Nah. Is that remaster good for PS5? Is it good? If it ain't The Last of Us, we not getting it. Sorry, bro. Apparently Bloodborne's code was so bad they couldn't even give it a PS5 upgrade. Yuck. What the fuck happened, bro? I know for a fact these guys want a Bloodborne port, referring to software. If I want one, I'll get it. Oh, yeah, we get in trouble. Obviously, I wonder. Well, yeah, I'll go back to what I was saying. I wonder why Sony is silencing him. Why they don't want him to talk about it. That's really like, that's just corporate greed. Like, Sony just wants to hold on to the IP and treat it like the Disney Vault. Oh, you'll get it every 20 years when we feel like it. Obviously, as one of the creators of Bloodborne, my personal, pure, honest opinion is I'd love more players to be able to enjoy it, especially as a game that is now coming of age. One of those games of the past that gets lost in an older hardware. Yo, what are you barking for, dude? Hey. Hey. Sir? Other people are allowed to exist. Shut that shit up. Other people are allowed to exist. Cut it out. You're fine. Sony's issue is they spent a huge amount of time chasing gas profits. What are gas profits? Just recently they fell out of the plan. Yeah, they have Concord coming out in their own Bungie now, but oh, you mean games as a service? Games as a service. That's what you. I've never seen that as an acronym. Gas. That's crazy. Gas as an acronym for games as a service, because games as a service are not gas. They fucking suck. That's fucking funny. We can't use that acronym, dude. I think that like any game like that, it'd be nice to have an opportunity for more players to be able to experience. No, I'm not mad. I'm just making a joke. That and relive this relic of the past. So as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely not something I'd be opposed to. Interesting. What is this? You linking Dragon Ball? Bro, we're off Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero split screen multiplayer is only playable on one map. Boo. I'm not reading that. Good thing I'm playing online. I don't really care that much, but for the people who like split screen, you might be upset. I mean, Helldivers 2 was gas. Keyword is it was, because last I checked, the community is not really fucking with it, and the numbers have dwindled because Sony once again fucked that game over. Imagine that's what sucks about publishers. Imagine being like a hardworking developer. It's been your dream to make a game that millions of fans across the globe will enjoy, and you make your dream come true just to have a record label or a publisher fuck you over, and you're taking a brunt of a lot of that hate. Why do I feel like it's the tournament stage area? It probably is. It's probably going to be something that does require a lot of optimization. The numbers went back to 120 now with the new update. What's in the new update? Elden Ring has sold 25 million copies, just putting that out there. The sales are probably about to shoot up again. It's probably going to hit like 30 million by the end of the year when Shadow of the Erdtree comes out. I just seen another big streamer. I know Mizkif is doing a run. He's streaming until he beats Elden Ring. And then I just seen another streamer on my timeline. I don't know the name. I don't know the dude's name, but he's pretty popular. He's a white bald-headed dude, if y'all know who I'm talking about. He just announced that he's doing a stream. And he's not going to turn the stream off until he beats Elden Ring. And I said, that's crazy. All these fraudulent-ass gamers want to play Elden Ring all of a sudden. No, it wasn't Asmongold. Is it? I think his name was Jinxie or something like that. I think that's his name. I've seen that name before. Let me see. Yeah, it was him. It was his face. Yeah. He announced he's doing a marathon stream. He's gonna be playing Elden Ring, and I said that's crazy. All of a sudden, everybody want to play Elden Ring. I wonder what happened. The black man is influential, chat. The black man is influential. Everybody wants to all of a sudden play this 2-year-old game and act like it exists. Even though it won Game of the Year, 25 million copies. It just goes to show you. I'd be like, yo, do y'all even enjoy it? Like, don't get me wrong. I want more people to play it and enjoy it. But all I'm asking is, are you enjoying what you're doing? Or do you just see it gets views? Which one is it? Because I've never seen those streamers play games before. It's kind of weird. It's getting kind of weird. Did you see who the Twitch CEO follows? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I already talked about it. He's a gooner. I already talked about it. I retweeted it. Yeah, my man was showing off the For You page right here.
You missed
He following all the Snow Bunnies, Snow Bunny Crisis. He's showing off his For You page. Yeah, he a fan.
Okay.
Got them things out. Oh shit. I seen some girl tweet the CEO too. And he was like, hey, she was like, you should follow me. I meet your criteria. It was a white girl too. I was like, this shit funny. He said, what the hell? Haha. Yeah, he was showing off because like for those you don't know where Twitch just launched their own For You page. So if you want to find new content, whether it's clips or live streams, you can scroll now. You got to update your app. You can scroll to find new content. And he was showing it off in a press conference. And he unfortunately showed off his algorithm, which was nothing but some titty streamers. So that shit was fucking funny. I was like, we see you, big dog. We see what you like. That is your algorithm because mine does not look like that. And then last but not least, since we're talking about Elden Ring, I got some Elden Ring adjacent news, Souls-like. Black Myth Wukong has been delayed on Xbox Series S because it fucking sucks. I'm not going to read this article because you get the gist of it. The Xbox Series S is the weaker of the two Xboxes. It can only do 1440p. Last time I checked, I believe it's like slightly stronger, if not equivalent to like a PS4. So the Xbox Series S is once again holding gaming back. Doesn't mean it's not going to come to it, but if you planned on picking up Black Myth and you have an Xbox, you will not be able to play on the Series S at launch. Only on the Xbox Series X will it be available because it's not powerful. And I mean, it's believable. If you look at the game is gorgeous. Is it coming to PS4? You said, well, PS5 it is. So like, don't act like I didn't tell you. Please don't buy this. If you only own a Series S, you are going to get fucked over. Damn, I feel bad. I got it because it was cheap. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the thing is, I'm not even gonna put it on you. Like this is Microsoft's fault. They put themselves in a weird position. The intention was good. They wanted to give an offering to consumers that was cheaper to help them feel like they were in the next gen. The issue is now it's creating an issue with game development where they have to optimize for an older platform. It's holding gaming back. I think, in my opinion, and they can't do it now, but if they want to do it for the next generation, for the next Xbox and the next PlayStation, if you want to offer a cheaper option for consumers, do something where it just takes out and put a smaller hard drive in there, right? Like by the time we get to the PlayStation 6, I swear to God, if 1 terabyte hard drives are the standard, fuck y'all. At bare minimum, the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox should launch with at least 2 terabytes, really 5. I think it should launch with 5 terabytes. So if they come out with a 5 terabyte PS6 and Xbox, offer a cheaper option that has 2 or 1 terabytes in it. And if there's other places they can cut corners, do that. But don't cut corners on the power. And you just gonna have to take a hit. Like if you get that one with the smaller hard drive, you get $50 to like $100 off or something like that, right? But like you can't keep making weaker hardware because it's fucking game's over. Don't Xbox have a prerequisite that any game is made has to be on both? Yeah. If you so that's why developers are having trouble. Any game that's so like there's a thing called console parity. Developers want to make as much money as possible. Obviously, game development is expensive, right? So when you make your game, you have to make sure that it works on the PlayStation and the Xbox. That's cool because usually the PlayStation and Xbox are comparable in power. The Xbox Series S threw a wrench in the plans because now there's a weaker platform. So now, honestly, unless we're talking about exclusives, when it comes to multiplats, the standard is the Xbox Series S. So for people wondering why, and the PS4, because you niggas won't get off that shit. If you're wondering why graphics haven't taken this big graphical jump, reread the title. Yeah, optimization. It's going to be able, I didn't say it wasn't coming. I'm saying it's going to be harder to optimize for it because the hardware is not as good. It's going to take longer. So as long as that exists, that means like that's the standard. They have to always make sure it works on the Series S, and then everything else is like a bonus, which is unfortunate. Do you think games in the future will ever reach a 1 terabyte install? If it does, I think the first game would be Call of Duty. I wouldn't be, if it does happen, I'm clipping. I'm calling it right now. Call of Duty will be the first game to reach 1 terabyte. And nigga, I'm not downloading that shit. Fuck no. Grand Theft Auto could do it too. Grand Theft Auto, it's one of those two probably. This is probably going to hurt the sales of the Xbox. Yeah, because I think a lot of people actually do own the Series S because it was the cheaper option. Unfortunate, but I think it is important to be aware of this. If you have a Series S, you won't be able to play this game, at least at launch. And then there's no telling how the game will turn out. Because remember how Watch Dogs showed on the Wii U? Or you remember, or Mortal Kombat on the Switch? There's no guarantee that shit's going to look good. Nintendo Switch is not a serious console. It's a casual console, unfortunately. I'm not gonna say it's a casual. It's underpowered. You can't call Tears of the Kingdom a casual game. That is a very hardcore game. That is a game where you essentially play an engineer. That's the reason I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't really feel like it was a Zelda game. It was be an engineer. Now, if you want to argue it's underpowered, I completely agree with you, but I'm not gonna call it casual. That's not fair.